Here's the headline I can't ignore. Humanoid robots just crossed the line from cool demo to factory output. A company called 1X opened a 58,000 square foot facility in Hayward, California, and says it can build 10,000 home humanoids in year one and 100,000 by the end of 2027.
That's the real tell. When you see square footage, production targets, and a shipment date, that's not a science project anymore. They're talking about shipping Neo robots by the end of 2026 and taking pre-orders around $20,000. That's the iPhone moment for embodied AI, except it walks around your living room.
And if you're listening thinking, so what? Let me translate. A robot you can deploy like an employee changes labor math. The only question is where the first big ROI lands: factories, warehouses, hospitals, or at home.
And it forces a second question. If robots become broadly available, what's the infrastructure underneath them? Models, chips, power, safety rules, and who controls that stack?
Okay, Sarah, the 1X numbers are wild. 10,000 robots out of one facility in year one, then 100,000 by end of 2027. That's not a few pilots. We're building a category.
And the other story that connects is Google DeepMind partnering with Agile Robots to embed its Gemini Robotics foundation models. Agile says it has installed over 20,000 robotic solutions worldwide. So this is a data partnership as much as a deployment partnership.
So the loop is ship robots, collect real-world data, improve the model, ship better robots.
Exactly. And it's how software-scaled economics enter the physical world. The model is the brain, but the advantage goes to whoever has the most diverse, clean, labeled interaction data. Different factories, different objects, different failure modes.
Let's make it concrete. If a humanoid can fold laundry at home, in a factory, it can do kitting, sorting, simple assembly, moving inventory. But the step function change isn't that it's stronger than a forklift. It's that it can use existing environments, doors, stairs, shelves, without retooling the whole building.
Right. Traditional automation wants you to design the world for the robot. Humanoids are trying to design the robot for the world. The trade-off is reliability. The first big winners are likely constrained, repeatable tasks in controlled spaces.
And the price point matters. A $20,000 pre-order price sounds like a car. But if a robot runs 2 shifts, never calls out sick, and improves every software update, your payback window can compress fast.
One more detail from the LA Times piece. 1X says it's vertically integrating parts, motors, electronics, batteries, and even planning to use Neo robots to build more Neos over time. That's the ambition, a self-amplifying manufacturing loop.
That's the story. Embodied AI is not just a tech story. It's supply chain, manufacturing, and labor markets colliding.
Now zoom out from robots to companies. Google Cloud. Next 2026 basically declared, the pilot phase is over. They launched the Gemini Enterprise Agent platform and talked about agents as the bridge between intelligence and action.
I heard another message: get on the stack or get left behind. They cited total capex around $185 billion in 2026. That's not marketing, that's infrastructure.
And the customer examples matter. Virgin Voyages rolled out a customer-facing agent named Rovi. Walmart is using Gemini Enterprise internally for store and supply chain leaders. That's not future tense.
Here's the business lens. Every company wants AI, but what they actually need is a workflow that reduces cycle time, removes handoffs, and creates a measurable output. Agents are basically automation with language and tools glued together.
And you can see the same move in Zendesk's announcement. They're removing essential versus advanced distinctions and rolling advanced agentic features into broader plans. Agentic reasoning, multi-step procedures, external API integrations, rollout from May 11th through June 12th.
Translation: the baseline expectation for customer support is shifting. If your help desk can't execute multi-step actions, it's going to feel like 1999.
And the tooling ecosystem is converging. Zapier's list of best AI automation tools is basically a map of orchestration. Connect apps, govern access, run automations, and increasingly, plug in models. The agent layer becomes the new UI for work.
Let's talk constraints. Manufacturing Dive argues the AI build-out is hitting real bottlenecks. They cite AI-optimized data centers requiring 100 to 500 megawatts. That's city-scale power.
And that's not abstract. If you can't secure power, you can't deploy the model. If you can't deploy the model, you can't run the agents. If you can't run the agents, you can't justify the business transformation.
Which brings us to the other headline. CNBC says Meta is cutting about 8,000 jobs, 10%, while Microsoft offers buyouts for about 7% of U.S. staff, roughly 8,750 people. That's over 20,000 jobs between the two, and they cite nearly $700 billion in AI infrastructure spending this year across the Big Four.
The uneasy truth is that the CapEx race and the workforce reductions are two sides of the same balance sheet. Companies are trading headcount for compute and automation because the marginal productivity of a well-instrumented AI workflow can be huge.
And the small team, big output effect is showing up. The CNBC piece mentions startups hitting $50 million revenue with 50 people, where it used to take 250. That's not just efficiency. It's an operating model shift.
For viewers, here's the actionable takeaway. If your job is moving information between systems, agents will eat that. If your job is owning outcomes, you become the person who designs the agent workflow, validates it, and ties it to a KPI.
And the teams that win will be the teams who can prove ROI with hard numbers. Cycle time down, defect rate down, customer resolution time down. Not, we played with a chatbot.
Regulation is also becoming more time-bound. The EU AI Act timeline flags August 2, 2026 as a major date when the remainder of the Act starts to apply, and it points to regulatory sandboxes needing to be operational by that date.
In the U.S., Gunderson Detmer highlights a patchwork. California SB 53 and Texas HB 149 took effect January 1, 2026, and Colorado's AI Act kicks in June 30, 2026. If you sell AI into enterprises, compliance isn't optional. It's procurement.
And notice what the rules often focus on: transparency, impact assessments, clear notices when someone is interacting with AI, and restrictions around high-risk uses. That aligns with where enterprise deployments are going, agents doing consequential work.
Now, quick pivot to health. The Markets Insider piece frames longevity as a 120-binary trade. But the more interesting part is the clinical and operational signals. Vikings Phase 3 Vanquish 2 enrolled about 1,000 people, and Longeveron's frailty data showed a 63.4-meter improvement in a 6-minute walk test at month 9.
And Lifespan.io's roundup underscores that a lot of the field is moving toward measurable endpoints: muscle function, cognitive markers, senescence-linked inflammation, not just vague anti-aging language. The parallel to AI is the same: results over hype.
Rapid fire. 1. Zendesk is essentially commoditizing advanced AI agent features. If your CX org isn't planning for multi-step automation by summer, you're already behind.
Rapid fire 2. Manufacturing Dive's data center delay point is your reminder that AI is physical. Power and chips become strategy constraints, not IT details.
Rapid fire. 3. The agentic era message from Google Cloud Next, the pilot phase is behind us, means executives are going to demand production use cases, not demos.
If you want to ride this wave, pick one workflow this week, something with a clear input, a clear output, and a human review step. Map it, instrument it, then add an agent that can take the first pass. Measure time saved, error rate, and escalation rate. That's how you move from AI project to AI operating system.
And if you're a leader, your job is to make sure the rules are clear, what data can be used, what tools are approved, and what the KPI is. Otherwise, you get shadow AI, and that's where both security and ROI go to die. That's the breakdown for today. The stories are moving fast, but the playbook for staying ahead doesn't change.
If any of this hit close to home for your industry or your role, the newsletter goes deeper every week. Link in the description.
We're Marcus Reed and Sarah Chen. This is your AI future. Subscribe if you want to keep up, and we'll see you tomorrow.